Christmas, a time of warmth, joy and togetherness. But here in Britain, it's also a time for ghost stories. The long cold nights of December have always inspired tales of the eerie and unexplained. Tonight, we invite you to join us as we uncover 6 of Britain's most chilling Christmas hauntings. So settle by the fire, but beware. These stories are not for the faint of heart. Our journey begins in the heart of London, where the echo of phantom voices fills the sacred halls of one of Britain's most iconic landmarks. St. Pauls Cathedral stands as a symbol of resilience and faith, its dome towering above London's skyline for centuries. But during the Christmas season, it takes on a more spectral air. Visitors report hearing carols, soft, hauntingly beautiful, echoing through the cathedral's stone corridors, yet no choir is present. This phenomenon is said to date back to World War II during the Blitz. On Christmas Eve, as bombs rained down on the city, a choir gathered for a midnight service. Their hymns, filled with hope and defiance, were tragically silenced when the cathedral was struck by enemy fire. Yet even in death, their voices linger. One visitor recounted the eerie experience of entering St. Paul's late on a December evening. As they wandered through the dimly lit nave, the faint strains of Silent Night filled the air. At first, they thought it was a recording or a distant choir, but as they moved closer to the source, the singing seemed to drift higher and higher until it was coming from the choir loft itself. When they climbed the steps, the music abruptly stopped, and they found the space empty. Others have described seeing faint figures in the choir loft, their forms shimmering as though made of mist. The candlelight dances off their translucent outlines before they vanish altogether, leaving behind only an unearthly silence. Historians suggest this could be a residual haunting, an echo of that fateful night during the Blitz. But some believe it is more than that, a reminder of the resilience of those who refuse to let war extinguish their faith. Whatever the truth may be, one thing is certain. The ghostly carols of St. Paul's Cathedral are a hauntingly beautiful reminder of both tragedy and hope, resonating through the ages. As we leave behind the echoes of St. Paul's, our journey takes us to the rolling hills of Buckinghamshire, where Hughenden Manor stands, its red brick exterior framed by frost-covered trees and a blanket of snow. This stately home, once the residence of British Prime Minister Benjamin Disraeli, is known for its elegance and grandeur. But during the Christmas season, it harbours a more spectral presence. Guests and staff alike have reported encountering a ghostly woman who appears near the fireplace in the grand sitting room. The figure is described as wearing Victorian attire, her form faint and ethereal. She gazes into the flames, her expression one of profound sadness, as though reliving a memory lost to time. Some believe she was a governess who once worked at the manor. According to legend, she fell deeply in love with a member of the household, a love that was not reciprocated. Heartbroken, she passed away on Christmas Eve, and her spirit has lingered ever since. One chilling account comes from a guest who stayed at the manor during a holiday gathering. They awoke in the middle of the night to find the room icy cold, despite the roaring fire. As they sat up, they saw the faint outline of a woman standing by the hearth. She turned slowly, her face pale and sorrowful, before disappearing into the shadows. Others have felt her presence as a sudden drop in temperature, or the faint sound of weeping echoing through the halls late at night. Even the staff have reported unexplained phenomena, from objects moving on their own to the sensation of being watched while preparing the manor for Christmas festivities. The Christmas ghost of Hughenden Manor remains a mystery. Is she a lost soul searching for peace, or a reminder of the unspoken stories hidden within the manor's walls? Whatever the truth, her presence adds a haunting touch to the festive season. From the sorrowful spirit of Hughenden Manor, we journey north to Scotland, where a centuries-old castle holds a Christmas Eve tradition that is anything but merry. Glamis Castle, nestled in the heart of Scotland, is renowned for its history, grandeur and chilling tales of the paranormal. But on Christmas Eve, one particular story stands out, a card game played long ago, with stakes far greater than anyone could have imagined. According to legend, a nobleman residing at Glamis Castle was forbidden to play cards on Christmas Eve, as it was deemed a holy night. Ignoring the warnings, he invited friends to join him for a game in one of the castle's grand chambers. The night grew colder as the hours passed, and the sound of laughter and shuffling cards echoed through the halls. Then, as the clock struck midnight, the door to the chamber burst open and a mysterious stranger entered. Described as tall and cloaked in shadow, the stranger joined the game without a word. As the play continued, the nobleman became uneasy, noticing that the stranger's hands bore claws instead of fingers. When confronted, the figure revealed his true form, a devil summoned by the blasphemous act of gambling on such a sacred night. The legend says the nobleman and his friends were cursed, doomed to replay their fateful game for eternity. To this day, visitors and staff at Glamis Castle report hearing the faint shuffle of cards and the low murmur of voices coming from the room even when it stands empty. One chilling account came from a tour guide who claimed to hear loud echoing laughter late one Christmas Eve, only to find the room locked and unoccupied. Others have described cold draughts emanating from the chamber as if the curse still lingers, binding the spirits to their eternal game. Whether the story is a cautionary tale or a genuine haunting, one thing is clear. Glamis Castle holds secrets that refuse to stay buried. As the snow falls outside and the clock nears midnight, the cursed card game continues, unseen but always felt. From the chilling halls of Glamis Castle, our journey takes us to Norfolk, where a grand library becomes the setting for another haunting tale tied to Christmas. Felbrigg Hall, located in the tranquil countryside of Norfolk, is a place of timeless beauty and tradition. But within its grand library, a spectral presence brings a chilling edge to the Christmas season. The library, filled with rows of leather-bound books and a roaring fireplace, was once the cherished sanctuary of a former owner, a man who loved literature so deeply that his spirit seems unable to part with it. During the festive season, visitors report an eerie sense of being watched as they sit by the fire, reading aloud to family and friends. One particularly haunting account comes from a group who visited Felbrigg on Christmas Eve. As they gathered in the library to share ghost stories, the air grew inexplicably cold, and the flames in the fireplace flickered unnaturally. Moments later, one of them noticed a figure seated in the corner, his face partially obscured by shadows. When they turned to speak to him, the figure dissolved into thin air. Another guest described hearing the faint rustle of pages being turned, even though the room was empty. The ghost, believed to be the former owner, is said to roam the library in search of a book he never finished reading during his lifetime. His attachment to this room is so strong that his presence is felt most acutely during the Christmas season, when the library is alive with festive cheer. Whether his spirit finds solace in the joy of the season or laments the passage of time, the haunted parlour of Felbrigg Hall reminds us that even in the warmth of Christmas, shadows linger. From the mysterious library of Felbrigg Hall, we now turn to Norfolk once more, where Rainham Hall harbours a ghost whose screams pierce the stillness of Christmas night. Rainham Hall, a historic gem nestled in the Norfolk countryside, is as picturesque as it is unnerving. Its Georgian architecture and festive decorations create a cheerful exterior, but beneath its charming facade lies a chilling tale of sorrow and despair. During the Christmas season, the hall is said to echo with the anguished cries of a ghostly woman, her voice piercing the stillness of the frosty nights. Legend has it that she was a maid who worked at the hall centuries ago. Tragically, her love for a member of the household ended in betrayal, leading her to take her own life on Christmas Eve. Her screams are said to reverberate through the halls, a chilling reminder of her heartbreak. One visitor recounted hearing a blood-curdling scream while exploring the house late at night. Rushing to the source of the sound, they found an empty room, the air icy cold, and their breath visible despite the warmth of the season. Staff members preparing the hall for Christmas have also reported strange occurrences. Decorations are found mysteriously moved, and doors open and close on their own. Some have felt an invisible hand brush against them as they work, accompanied by the faint sound of sobbing. The most unsettling account comes from a caretaker who claimed to see the ghostly figure of the woman standing at a window, gazing longingly into the snow-covered garden. As he approached, she turned to face him, her face pale and twisted in sorrow, before vanishing into thin air. Rainham Hall's Screaming Lady serves as a stark reminder that even amidst the joy of Christmas, the echoes of past tragedies can still haunt us. From the chilling cries of Rainham Hall, our journey leads us to Northumberland, where the eerie corridors of Chillingham Castle await. Chillingham Castle, standing tall in the windswept countryside of Northumberland, is often referred to as one of the most haunted castles in Britain. Its reputation for ghostly encounters is legendary. But during the Christmas season, its halls become especially active with paranormal phenomena. Visitors and staff report hearing phantom footsteps echoing through the stone corridors. The sound grows louder, as if someone is approaching, yet no one ever appears. Some guests have described the unnerving sensation of being followed, their steps mirrored by unseen feet as they navigate the shadowy hallways. One chilling tale tells of a lone visitor who stayed in the castle during a snowy December, awoken in the middle of the night by the sound of heavy boots pacing outside their door. They opened it to find the corridor empty, the only trace a faint imprint of wet footprints leading down the hall. The castle's grand fireplace in the Great Hall is another focal point for paranormal activity. Guests gathered there for warmth have reported seeing shadowy figures standing at the edges of the room, watching silently before fading into the darkness. A particularly eerie account involves a spectral soldier believed to be tied to the castle's tumultuous past. Dressed in tattered armour, he has been seen standing guard near the entrance, his figure illuminated faintly by the glow of the Christmas lights. Chillingham Castle's reputation as a hotspot for hauntings is well earned, and during the festive season its eerie ambience is heightened. As snow blankets the grounds and the chill of winter settles in, the castle comes alive with the echoes of its haunted history, offering a chilling conclusion to our journey through Britain's Christmas hauntings. From the phantom carols of St. Pauls Cathedral to the spectral footsteps of Chillingham Castle, these tales remind us that Christmas in Britain is not just a time for joy and light. It's also a season where the shadows of the past linger, haunting and mysterious. As the nights grow longer and the festive cheer spreads across the land, these ghostly tales serve as a chilling reminder of the histories that refuse to be forgotten. Perhaps this Christmas, when you sit by the fire, you'll feel a cold draught or hear the faint echo of a sound that doesn't belong. Thank you for joining us on this eerie journey through Britain's Christmas hauntings. If you've enjoyed this video, be sure to like, share and subscribe to Ancient Britain Myths for more tales of history, folklore and the supernatural. And remember, the past is never as far away as we might think. Merry Christmas and sweet dreams, if you can sleep.